Middlesex University has been awarded government funding to develop degree apprenticeships in the public sector.
Middlesex University are passionate about degree apprenticeships because we think they can provide more opportunities for people to access careers in the public sector. And we think that not many people know that there's a statutory duty for the public sector to employ apprentices, and that the numbers involved are actually huge. And as a consequence of that, we think that once all of the teachers, all of the nurses, all of the social workers and all of the police constables have reached their professional status through degree apprenticeships, then parents and career advisors will be saying the route for you, if you want to access that particular professional career, is a degree apprenticeship.
The university is establishing 4 public sector degree apprenticeships for delivery from 2018. In policing, nursing, teaching and social work. The workplace is the centre for degree apprenticeship learning, with a focus on what happens in a real-life workplace.
It's not just about imparting knowledge in a traditional sense in a lecture hall or so forth. It really positions the workplace as the centre of the focus of learning. And one of the differences is that the learning is focused on work. It's focused on what happens in a real-life workplace.
Our students will have as near realistic experience as possible, and they'll be exposed to the full challenges and issues of the service. So they work a full day and they'll work very closely with the supervisor in the workplace, and they will be allocated a workload.
Middlesex trainees meet with their mentor once a week, and in that meeting they reflect on the week gone by, they consider the achievements that the trainees made, and they consider development targets for the next period of time, and in that way they set the agenda for learning, and that's really how they co-construct the curriculum.
Students will go into the workplace, and they would have allocated over the period of their placement up to 6 situations working directly with service users. They may visit with their practice educator in tandem and be supervised, but they would take the lead in the work. Or, in some situations, depending on the nature and the complexity of the work, they may visit independently. They're closely supervised. They have to deal with the crisis that may emerge for the service user. So it's really as realistic as possible.
If you're thinking about policing, police officers generally are not writing essays in their day jobs. If you are constructing a degree apprenticeship for police constables, then one authentic way of thinking about assessing police constables in that context is to get them to write things like crime reports, which are exactly the kind of things that police constables are producing in their day jobs.
Theory and practice are well integrated within our nursing programmes. Modules and programmes are written from the outset with involvement with clinical partners and service users actually. Modules are delivered with assistance and support from colleagues in practice. We work in practice as linked lecturers.
A key pedagogical practice for us is what I would call the triadic endeavour that comes from the trainee, the mentor and the university tutor all working together to plan the curriculum with the trainee, but also to jointly assess how the trainee is doing against the teacher standards.
Workplace learning is a triadic endeavour between trainee, university tutor and mentor or practice educator. All components of the curriculum are developed in partnership with practitioners and university tutors. Mentors or practice educators and university tutors teach in both university and practice settings. Personal learning goals are set and agreed by the mentor or practice educator and trainee. Workplace mentoring or practice education authenticate the development of professional competencies in the workplace.
In my view, workplace mentoring is an essential aspect of degree apprenticeships and work integrated learning. because it authenticates the extent to which people engaged in work integrated learning are actually developing the required professional competencies. I mean, if you think of a scenario where there is a serving police officer, for example, who is having a professional conversation with a police constable degree apprentice, then one of the things they have to think about is how they manage conflict. That's an important part of a police constable's role. And an individual might be doing that very effectively from day one, perhaps. It's, you know, part of their persona. But they might have things that they need to develop in that area, and a serving police officer might be able to identify ways in which they can develop personally so that they're able to sort of manage conflict in a more effective way, and as a consequence enable them to learn what it means to be a professional police constable.
Middlesex trainees meet with their mentor once a week, and in that meeting they reflect on the week gone by, they consider the achievements that the trainees made, and they consider development targets for the next period of time, and in that way they set the agenda for learning, and that's really how they co-construct the curriculum.
So student social workers who are working directly with service users will meet regularly with their practice educator, around once a fortnight, and it's an opportunity for them to have an in-depth discussion by exploring the work that the student is doing.
And without those kind of professional conversations, without that kind of engagement, then there's a real opportunity for learning that's missed in delivering work integrated and degree apprenticeship programmes.
There's access for all to the curriculum through shared digital space, and university link tutors act as conduits between the university and employer.
We share the content of our university training sessions with school mentors using a shared digital space. We also ask school mentors to contribute to our sessions, so that's another way that they are informed about what we're doing at university. And our university link tutors are a very good conduit between the university and the school, as the two main sites of learning for the trainee.
The link lecturer is our role, academic staff role within the departments of nursing in the university. We go to the link area, so we each have a named link area. We go, we support learning, we see the mentors, we see the students, we do mentor updates, we support learning in practice in that way.
We have a partnership agreement in place which underpins the working relationship between the mentor, the university tutor and the trainee, and it defines roles and responsibilities, and it's very helpful in terms of our quality assurance processes.
The university curriculum is shared with mentors to maximise integration into practice learning. Partnership agreements between the university and employer underpin relationships. Regular meetings with trainees are used to reflect on achievement and to agree and set goals. The apprentice, workplace mentor or practice educator and university tutor set the agenda for learning together. Close collaboration between employers and the university is essential for degree apprenticeships to succeed.
We've worked really closely with employers to respond to their workforce needs. We've developed a nursing associate programme, we've developed an APR route into the BSc in nursing, so they've responded exactly to workforce demands. We know from experience of working with employers over many years within nursing in the capital that it's beneficial usually for us to go to employment areas, to go to the hospitals and the departments and the community teams and such like, to engage with employers there rather than expecting them always to come into the university, which just provides additional time challenges for them.
We have some very long and well-established relationships with many of our partner schools. Many of our school-based mentors were actually trained at Middlesex and have a sense of loyalty. Schools also see that the mentoring opportunities and the mentoring training that we provide as a very good professional development opportunity for teachers in their schools. They also value the opportunities for research-informed practice that they can get through working with the education department.
Our employer partners are very closely involved with recruitment and selection to all of our nursing programmes. We've recently recruited to the Nursing Associate programme and to our APL route programme. All of our BSc students are included in the recruitment processes. Their joint processes really are including a joint interview with staff from both the university and from the employer side.
Our schools are involved in recruitment and selection through different avenues. They attend recruitment and selection days at university. Our tutors go and attend recruitment selection days out in schools with our school-led routes. Many of our prospective applicants undertake school experience before applying for a teacher training programme, and teachers out in those schools will contribute to a school experience report.
Employers are fully involved in recruitment admissions, right from the planning process, the content of the questions that we ask and the interview schedule, the tests that we set. They're involved in assessing, marking, they participate on panels alongside service users. And this is really important because they need to know that we're recruiting people to become the best type of social workers that they actually need.
Middlesex has long established employer relationships. There is close employer involvement in curriculum design and recruitment and selection. Middlesex trained mentors are loyal to the university. Employers enjoy access to research-informed practice. Mentoring or practice education is viewed as effective professional development by employers. Employers see potential recruitment of new staff from degree apprenticeship programmes. Providers working in partnership together with employers can improve the quality of degree apprenticeship learning in the workplace.
There are challenges to assuring quality, both for the schools and the university. One of the reasons for that is that schools often work with a number of different training providers, and each training provider can have a slightly different version of a partnership agreement and varying expectations regarding roles and responsibilities. On the other hand, providers are working closely together to try and ensure that there is consistency between those expectations.
Provider partnerships on practice assessment are led by Middlesex University in nursing and in social work.
The Pan London Practice Learning Group brought together 9 universities across London to develop an assessment tool that could be used by each university for assessment of nursing within practice.
The North London Teaching Partnership is a really innovative way of bringing academics and employers together to really address the local and regional workforce development needs. So, for example, we've got currently 7 partners in local authorities that we work directly with, and one of the features of this is what we call the pracademics, which these are experienced practitioners who have got leadership in learning and teaching. So they are employed in joint posts with the university and their local authority, and they will come in and they will teach fully on the curriculum. And also we offer them the opportunity to complete the postgraduate certificate in learning and teaching.
Additional funding provided by Health Education England has helped to develop routes to professional qualification, harmonise assessment approaches and increase participation.
Health Education England have been really supportive of nursing developments within London and here at Middlesex University in terms of the STEP project, enhancing team-based education and practice, in terms of supporting us developing the routes to registration for nursing, and in terms of the Pan London Practice Assessment Group and developing of the Pan London Practice Assessment Tool.
Regulation can be constraining but also help to ensure accountability.
The Ofsted framework for the inspection of initial teacher education places significant emphasis on the quality of the partnership between schools and providers of initial teacher education, and that in many ways is beneficial because it places due focus on the importance of that partnership. But the challenge, of course, is that the accountability lies entirely with the provider and there is no accountability held by the school.
Within nursing, we're very used to working within a regulatory environment. We work very closely with the professional body, the Nursing and Midwifery Council, who provide very clear frameworks for nursing programmes, and rightly so, in order to fulfil their function of public protections.
The Pan London Assessment Document for assessment of nursing skills in practice is used by 9 universities and many London trusts. Pracademics in social work are jointly employed by 7 local authorities and the university. Regulatory frameworks can be constraining, but they also guide degree apprenticeship programme design and focus the attention of partners. Collaboration can help smooth out the ongoing churn of change in the workplace.